always forget to turn on the microphone. If you've seen me before, you know I always forget to turn on the microphone. Hi, everybody. Some of you are probably saying, you're not Sagen. And some of you are probably saying, are you Sagen? I am not Sagen. Sagen is in Minnesota right now. Let me show you. Let me get it behind me. There we go. Here is Spokane, where I am, at SCEL. And here's Sagen over here in Minnesota. So Spokane over here with the red dot. Over here, Minnesota. So still along the northern border of the United States, still along the Canadian border, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states away. Yeah, I got the sound now. Sorry about Rosa, you've seen me forget the sound before. I'm good. I'm very, very good at forgetting the sound. Can you hear me now? Okay. Hi, Jam Zone. I hope you're having a good day too. I will only sub, excuse me. I will only sub for today. Sagen will be back next week. On Tuesday. So his class will be ready to go on Tuesday the 20th. Tuesday, September 20th. And I'm not sure if that'll be the 21st where you live because of different times. But Sagan's next class, Sagen will be here. He will be here next week. Are you still hearing some music? Is that right? Oh, okay. You know what? Okay, I don't have the music playing, but if you hear very quietly a little bit of music in the background, that's because from our neighbors play their music very, very loud. So you might hear a little bit of something in the background. Okay, good. Yeah, sorry. It was me forgetting to turn on the microphone. That was my bad. That is why there was no sound. I forgot to turn on the microphone. Anyway, Sagen will be back next week for this class. This is Health Sciences, English for Health Science. I want to show you a couple things before we get started with today's lesson. You cannot see anything. Jam Zone, you cannot see anything. Hi, Zayed. Welcome. Selma, can you see and hear me? Spokane, is it a cool place? It is a cool place. It's a very, very cool place. Lots of stuff to do. Yeah, try high def if you can. Okay, I'm going to show you something. Hopefully you can see this. You've probably met Zach, the moderator, before. Zach is often in the chat room with you. I have no moderator today. So if you have questions, it might take me a minute to actually get to your questions. Let's look at Zach's Facebook right now. I'm going to open this. And I've included this link in... Okay, good. It looks like you can see me and hear me. I'm going to include this link in the... Oh, this is his mail? Maybe this is his mail. I thought this was his Facebook. Well, still, I think this is his email. I shared, sorry about that, I don't have the Facebook link. I shared with you Zach's email. If you have a question, please email Zach. If you have a question, hi Mazen or Matzen. I'm bad at pronunciation. Welcome new student. This is not my class. I usually teach at a different time. This is Sagan's class. Sagen will be here next Tuesday to begin his class. Zach is your YouTube neighbor. Well, say hello to him if you see him. And if you have any questions about these live online classes, please contact Zach. He is the expert. He is the guru. He is the man that knows all about these live classes. Okay, I am going to show you a web page. I'm going to show you the Smrt Live webpage. And the reason we're showing this to you is because some of these classes will close. A closed class means only a limited amount of students can be in that class. There will be a small number of students that can see the class. So we'll go down. It will be an invite-only class. 12 weeks long, 2 hours per week. Sagan's class will be on, here in America at least, Tuesday and Thursday for 12 weeks until December 8th, I believe. Hello, new students. Hi, Allah from Iraq. Hi, Selma. Hi, Jamzone. Jamzone, at least listen to me. I'm sorry if you can't see me. So this class, Sagan's class, is going to become an online invite-only class. And they are paid classes. You can pay with PayPal or credit card. You will get 2-hour lessons, still on video like we do now. You will also have marked assignments. You will be given exercises and homework to do, and the teacher marks those up. You'll be given weekly quizzes, a final exam at the end, and then if you pass at the end of the class, you will receive a certification. Hi, Tara. Hi, Flavio. Flavio? How do I say that? Help me with the pronunciation. I'm terrible at pronunciation. Anyway, as you can see, I am not Sagen. I'm Neil. I'm subbing. I'm Sagan's substitute today. I'm talking about the live classes. This is the last week that these classes will be open, that they'll be free. Starting the 19th, my time, Monday the 19th, they're going to be closed. The classes you have to choose from are Nicole's Pre-Intermediate English. This is English 115. So that's a beginner level class, pre-intermediate, before middle class. Then we have Mark's intermediate class, which is middle range class. Upper intermediate, which is my normal class. That's again above middle. And then the highest level class we have is English for academic purposes. Academic, college, university level class. And then this class, English for health sciences, a topic, subject-specific class where a lot of the vocabulary and lessons are centered around medicine, science. Okay, and there's Sagen there. You can see there's Sagen there. Let me blow them up. Let me make them big. This is what Sagen will normally look like. Much more handsome than me. So if you want one of these classes, you have 4 days before they close. And if you want more information, please contact Zach. One more time, I'll put Zach's information in there. Go ahead and copy that and you can send him information. Okay? And again, I'm going to keep checking to make sure that I don't miss any of your questions. So if you see me looking off to the side a lot, it's because I'm looking at your chat. But are you ready? Are you ready to get started for today's lesson? That's why you're here, isn't it? Today, we're going to do linking cause and effect. This is helpful for writing, but it's also something you can use for speaking. Linking is where you take two ideas in a sentence, in the same sentence, and show the relationship between those two ideas. And there's a lot of ways to do this in a sentence, and today we're going to study how to do it with a cause and effect relationship. Very, very useful stuff, especially for academic level writing. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Selma, you're excited. I'm excited too. Okay, in English, linking devices show a relationship. Remember that. We're always showing the relationship between two things, two ideas. So we can do that between clauses, between sentences, or between paragraphs. Today, we will not look at relationships between paragraphs. In the future, we will, but for right now, we're going to concentrate on clauses and, yeah, mostly just clauses today. Linking devices can be conjunctions. Remember, conjunctions are words like and, but, or. They can also be adverbs. Adverbs are things like consequently, finally. What else can a transition? Firstly, secondly. So they can be adverbs, or they can be phrases. As soon as long as. I'm thinking of all the as phrases right now. And we'll look at a couple phrases today. And they signal meaning. When we use these linking devices, these conjunctions, these adverbs, these phrases, we're signaling a meaning. There's a meaning between the two parts of our sentence or two different paragraphs. But again, today we're just going to focus on sentences. So we have a lot of different linking devices: cause and effect, time sequence, similarities, contrast, examples, explanation. But today, again, our focus will just be on cause and effect. Cause and effect. Something makes something else happen. Something causes something else to happen. Cause. Let's look at the first word here, cause. And we're going to focus on 3 words for this first part. These 3 words are called subordinating conjunctions. And the 3 we're going to look at are because, as, and since. So remember these 3: because, as, and since. And they're synonyms. Synonyms, of course, meaning words that mean the same thing. You may know as, the word as a comparison word. As tall as fast as delicious as. So you may know it as, what can we say? When you're comparing 2 things, looking at the similarities or differences between 2 things. Since you may know as a time word. Since yesterday, since last night, since last year, since August. But here we're going to look at these 3 words to mean the same thing. We're going to look at these 3 words to all mean because. So when we use these 3 words as a linking device, all 3 mean the same thing. They have the same meaning as because. Tara, congratulations. I just saw Tara you've been studying for English 9 months and you passed your test. Congratulations. I'm glad you reached that mark. It's quite an accomplishment. Yay! All right, Tara. Okay, Rosa, you're wondering, when do we write a cause and effect essay? At our school, it's a level 4, which is this level, level 4, level 125, roughly, if we were to give them numbers, or level 5. So it's an upper intermediate to academic level essay, the cause and effect essay. We will get to that. You will get to essay writing in this class, but first let's practice at the sentence level. Today, let's practice at the sentence level. But I like your ambition. I like that you're ready for the essay level already. Okay, these words begin with a dependent clause. A clause, if you remember, a clause is just a fancy word to mean subject verb. And I'm going to jump from the slideshow for a second into my class notes. And at the end of this lesson, I am going to share my class notes with you. But for now, I'm just going to jump from here, go to class notes. Oh, one thing I wanted to say, you have probably seen many, many linking devices in English already. You have seen rather than, though, although, as long as, when, moreover, likewise, similarly, and then easy ones like and, but. So you know linking devices. You have seen them before. You have probably seen many, many, many of them before in English. Just a fancy word. Clause is a fancy word for a part of a sentence with a subject and verb. That's all that clause means, and you'll hear that a lot of time in English writing, in English grammar. Clause, clause, clause. Just means you have a subject and a verb in that piece of your writing or in that piece of your speaking. So don't get hung up on the word clause. I said hung up. Don't get hung up. That's slang, idiom. Don't think too much about it. So I'll be saying clause a lot. Just think of clause as subject and verb together. Good, Rosa, you've seen some more. As a result, consequently, these are good ones. These are good conclusion linking devices. As a result, there's, of course, consequently. You probably know a lot of these. Good, Rosa, you know a clause as well. Part of a sentence with a subject and a verb. Okay, yes, because we're going to talk about because. Allah, we're going to talk about because. Maybe I should call you Hussein. Maybe your first name Hussein. Okay, let's look at next. Where's next? Here we go. Okay, let's look at these two sentences. Let's look at these two example sentences. Because many customers complained, comma, the company changed its policy. Or you can switch those two parts. You can switch your two clauses and say the company changed its policy because many customers complained. The meaning has not changed. Same exact meaning between these two sentences. Just because you put the because clause, the subordinating clause at first, does not change the meaning. It can go anywhere in the sentence. I'm going to go back to my class notes. Okay, remember we're talking about the subordinating words because, as, and since. And these all have the meaning of cause. So let's look at that sentence we just looked at. Can you see in the background, can you see these sentences okay? Because I can make them bigger. Maybe just a little bigger. There we go. All right. So I just showed you this first one. Because many patients complained, comma, don't forget the comma, the hospital changed its policy. And I'll tell you now, and I'll remind you again later, we use the comma if we start with one of these words. If we start the sentence with because, as, since, or I won't say any linking device, with most linking devices, you're going to want a comma somewhere in the middle of your sentence. Okay, I use some colors here. Blue indicates subject. So I have because many patients, which is my subject, in that subordinate clause. Complained is my verb, and verbs will be in green. Notice on the other side of the comma, I have another subject and another verb. Two subjects, two verbs with these three words. Because, as, and since. So if you use one of these words and your meaning is cause, you are going to need two subjects and two verbs. Okay, Jam Zone, I'm glad you can see. All right, let's look at the next one. As many patients complain, the hospital changed its policy. Notice the only thing I changed was the word as. I only changed one word because it has the same meaning as the word because. The meaning does not change. These two sentences mean exactly the same thing. If I were to replace the word with since, same thing. So these three sentences carry the exact same meaning. They have the exact same meaning. Nope, I see I have miscolored the word hospital. Let me fix that. Hospital should be a noun, a subject. There we go. If we switch the two parts of the sentence, if we switch the two clauses, the main clause and the subordinate clause, the meaning does not change. And notice the only thing I really change in the sentence besides switching the two is I got rid of the comma. The comma goes away. If your subordinate clause, meaning the part that begins with your linking device, with because, as, or since, if it comes in the middle of your sentence, no comma. There will be no comma. And all of these sentences, as a matter of fact, all 6 of these sentences have the exact same meaning. Doesn't matter what clause comes first, what clause comes second, which one of these words you use, because, as, or since. All of them have the exact same meaning. Our meaning has not changed at all. And they're 2 dependent clauses. Well, you cannot, Rosa, I see you said 2 dependent clauses joined by using conjunctions. Now that's possible in a sentence. It will not be a complete sentence. I'm going to go up here, back to my words. Maybe under clause I should talk about independent clause or main clause. Can be on its own. It has subject and verb agreement, doesn't need anything else except a period at the end. However, if you have a dependent clause, or I've also used this word, subordinate clause, cannot be alone. It needs a independent clause, or we can call it a main clause. So 2 dependent clauses joined by a conjunction will still not be a complete sentence. It will never be a complete sentence. It can still occur, can still happen in a sentence, but even if you have 2 dependent clauses, they will both still need somewhere in that sentence an independent or main clause. Yes, Selma, good. I see you agree. It's a dependent clause and an independent clause. That independent clause is very important. Hi, Kieran. As you can see, once again, I am not Sagen. I'm Neil. I teach in the morning usually. But I decided to stay after and sub for Sagen because you know what? If you like this class, if you like the subject matter of this class, Sagen would love you to join this class. And I'll remind you of the website again at the end of the lesson. But I'm happy to be here today with all of you, with some familiar faces and some new faces. Welcome. Okay, I'm gonna push cause back down. Okay, so far we've talked about because, as, and since. All synonyms, all mean the same thing. And no matter how you write your sentence, with the subordinate clause at first or the subordinate clause at the end, same meaning. So let's look at the construction of it. You can start with your linking device, put in a subject, put in a verb. If you do that, if you start with your linking device, please use that comma. Then you'll have another subject and a verb and a period. Or you can write subject first, verb, then linking device in the middle, no comma, then another subject and verb. And remember, always put a period at the end of each and every sentence you write. Now I'm going to show you something different, a little different. We're still going to look at cause, sentences that have the meaning of cause, but we're going to look at different words this time. Actually, we're going to look at little phrases, not just single words like because, as, and since, but little phrases, combinations of words. And let me go back up and let me put it in the vocab box. what did I say? Phrase. I said phrase. A phrase is a combination of words that can be used as a single part of speech. So an adjective and a noun that go together, and the adjective describes that noun, is called a noun phrase because the part of speech is a noun. So if I said, I have a hairy dog, hairy dog is a noun phrase. How do I know? Because I cannot say, I have a hairy. It makes no sense. You can't stop at the adjective. I need to say what I have. Maybe I should, no, I won't write that down. I think you got me just by listening to what I said. Oh, how can you contact with me outside of this platform? Boy, I should really give you my Facebook. I tell you what, stay tuned for the end of the lesson and I'll give you the, the URL to my Facebook. And then you can contact me there. Shoot, this is easy enough. This is easy enough. Oh, good, Selma. Yeah, I just thought of this like a minute ago to have a vocabulary box. I will share the show notes with you. I will share an exercise with you. I will share my Facebook link with you. I'll share all of that near the end of the lesson. And we have about a half hour to go. I better speed up. Okay, let's go back to the slideshow next. Okay, here are the phrases I talked about. Notice the two words being used together here. Because of. Keep those together. Because of. As a result of. Or due to. Now, like before when I talked about because, as, and since as synonyms, all having the same meaning, because of, as a result of, and due to also have the same meaning. When you use them in a cause and effect sentence, when they're the linking device, in your cause and effect sentence, all three will have the same meaning. Let's take a look. One other thing I should say about these three. Why separate these three from because, as, since? Because of, as a result of, and due to can only be followed by a noun phrase. They cannot be followed by a clause. They cannot be followed by a clause. It's kind of strange. So let me show you an example. Okay, let's look at this top one. Look at the number one example. Because of customer complaints, the company changed its policy. Because of customer complaints, the company changed its policy. And actually, because this is a health science class, I changed the examples a little bit. So let's look at some more medically related examples. So we have because of, as a result of, and due to. Because of patient complaints, the hospital, I changed company to hospital. The hospital changed its policy. Okay, notice what comes after because of. Notice what comes after because of. This is a noun phrase. Patient is usually a noun, but here it's being used as a modifier for the word complaints. Let me go back up. I'll give you another grammar word, modifier. And you've probably heard this before. I'm guessing you've heard this before. Modifier is any words that describes another word in a sentence. A modifier. So in this case, patient is a modifier for complaints. What kind of complaints? Patient complaints. Because of patient complaints, comma, the hospital changed its policy. Now I kept blue for nouns. Notice after patient complaints, no green, no verb, no verb. After because of, you can't have a subject and a verb together. You cannot, ever, at all. Oh, we have an example. Zayed, you have a because of example, and a very good one. I'm going to include it. And if you don't mind, I'm going to capitalize it because it's and put a period at the end. Because I'm a teacher, I have to do that. I have to capitalize and put a period at the end. But an excellent, excellent example. Because of the bad weather. Notice in Zayed's sentence, the bad weather is an article, an adjective, and a noun. These two words modify the noun weather, but no verb. The weather is not doing any action. It's just a noun phrase. So that's very, very good. Very good example. Yes, Rosa, remember that with these three linking devices, because of, as a result of, and due to, no verb with the noun phrase that goes with the linking device. Because of patient complaints, comma, the hospital changed its policy. As a result of patient complaints, comma, the hospital changed its policy. Due to patient complaints, comma, the hospital changed its policy. Like before, I can switch these two parts. I can switch the linking device in the noun phrase and put it at the end, and keep the main clause, the independent clause, at the beginning. The hospital changed its policy because of patient complaints. And as before, notice no comma. If your linking device is in the middle, no comma. I don't know if these hand gestures are helping at all. I am a hand talker. I talk with my hands. And then we have, as a result of and due to, like before with these three linking devices, these three phrases. Doesn't matter what comes first, what comes second. All of them have the same meaning. All 6 of these sentences, same exact meaning, same exact meaning. And let's look at the construction one more time. Oh, Jam Zone, thank you. Thank you for the very, very, very flattering example. I'm going to blow that one up, make it bigger. Because of Neil's great teaching, I will keep on watching his lessons, and I love the use of the comma in the middle. That's what makes me the happiest there. Not that you called me a great teacher, but that you put the comma. I love commas. So that's excellent. So one more time, the construction. Linking device, and with these we're talking about because of, as a result of, and due to, plus a noun phrase, which just means all the modifiers of a noun and the noun, comma, then subject verb, our main clause, our independent clause. Period, put a period at the end. Or subject verb, main clause, independent clause at the beginning, linking device in the middle. If it's in the middle, no comma. And then end with your noun phrase. Hola, Alvaro. Did I say that right? Or Olivero? I'm terrible at pronunciation, especially with other names, new names to me. Terrible with pronunciation. Can we have a gerund after them? Wow, Selma, that's awesome. That's an awesome question. Sometimes. I don't have a great answer to it. The answer is sometimes. Sometimes gerunds work, sometimes they do not. Just depends on the gerund, the action you're talking of. Like, for example, let me think of one. Let me go in here. As a result of excessive, speeding, he eventually got in an accident. Does this sentence make sense? And there is a gerund. I did make a gerund noun. As a result of excessive speeding, he eventually got in an accident. His speeding, his driving too fast, caused him to be in an accident. Yes, we can put gerunds at the end of these because, of course, gerunds are nouns and they can be part of a noun phrase. Sometimes you'll write a sentence and it just doesn't quite work. Usually they do. I'll say it's about let's call it a 95% rule with gerunds and these phrases and these linking devices. Some of them, and I'll look it up. Why do some not work? There could be a rule behind it. I think it's just depends on the subject matter you're talking about. Some gerunds will work, some gerunds won't. I'll show you an example. How about I show you an example of one that does not work? Maybe that'll help. Okay. First, let's look at this. How about due to raining, they canceled the match. Due to raining, they canceled the match. Looks like it should work. It looks okay. Due to rain, they canceled the match. And this might be the rule, and again, I'll look this up. Because rain is a noun on its own, rain can be both a noun and a verb. If you have a word that's both a noun and a verb, you don't need to change that noun to a gerund. It already is a noun. Words that begin, words like speed, and I know that can be used as a noun too. So that's why I'm saying it's hard to describe why some work and some don't. Noun and verb. If it starts as a verb and you have to change it to a gerund, ing, to make it a noun, it'll probably work here. This raining one does not work. I would say play with these sentences, try these sentences, work with the sentences. A lot of you I know, here's another example. Thank you. Thank you for the examples, because sometimes it's difficult for me to think of examples all the time. This one comes from Selma. This example comes from Selma. Let's take a look at this one. Because of falling from the ladder, comma, again, love the commas, guys. Loving the commas. He broke his ankle. Is this right? Selma asks. Yes. It is. It's correct. Because of falling from the ladder. And it's using a gerund. And then you might ask, well, what's this from the ladder? Well, it's a prepositional phrase that's used as a modifier for falling. So it's a modifier. Still all of it a noun phrase. Yes, modifiers can come after as well. They don't always come before. Sometimes the modifier comes after. He broke his ankle. Jose, as a result of this class, I am learning English, he writes. Let me put it up here as an example. Yes, correct. As a result of this class is a noun phrase, class being a noun, this being a modifier. Again, excellent use of the commas. I'm glad that you guys are using your commas. Oh, Rauf Salam, very, very nice, very, very nice. You guys are too kind, too kind. Save some of this kindness for Sagen when he gets back from Minnesota. He will appreciate it. Neil, due to your beautiful character and your performance as well, I think that you're a perfect teacher. So, due to your beautiful character, due to noun phrase and a conjunction linking another noun phrase, your performance, two noun phrases after due to, and you used it in the middle of a sentence. And we have not talked about using it in the middle of the sentence. But yes, these can be used in the middle of a sentence. They can be inserted with a comma on each side, which would be correct. You would break that sentence using those commas. Okay, because all of you are so smart, let me return a compliment. Because of so many of you are so smart, can you tell me why this sentence is incorrect? Look at this sentence I have up here. Why is this sentence incorrect? I'll wait for your answers for a second. Why is this incorrect? Because of many patients complained, comma, the hospital changed its policy. What's wrong with that sentence? What's wrong? '" 'What's wrong with that sentence? What's wrong with this sentence? 'What's 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 wrong with this sentence? 'W There's a little delay, a little 10-second delay, so I will wait for your answers. Why is this sentence? Complained is a verb. Good, Rosa, you noticed it. There's a verb here after a subject because of. Yes, there's a verb in the dependent clause. You should never have subject and verb agreement in a dependent clause. Well, some dependent clauses can actually support subject-verb agreement. But this word here, this linking device, remember that. Because of, as a result of, due to, you cannot have subject-verb agreement. Such a weird rule. English is so strange, so strange. Okay, I'm not going to go back to the slideshow. In fact, I'm going to close it. Let's just stay here. We're running out of time, and I do want you to work on an exercise after we're done. I would like you to do an exercise, and I'll share that with you. Okay, let's look at, he's a result function. Okay. Actually, Hussein has another example. I always like to put your examples up to take a look at them, and then I'll talk about effect. Okay, and Hussein, the word you're looking for here, not sever. Sever is to cut. Like, I severed a finger. I cut off a finger. He suffers from headaches. Now remember this, Hussein. If your linking device comes in the middle, no comma. That's when we don't use a comma. As a result of, and I'm going to change this to a noun phrase. Here's an interesting thing. If you have a noun and a verb, and you want to turn it into a phrase, and you have a pronoun like he, she, it, an easy thing to do, here's an easy fix. I'm going to teach you an easy fix. Change the subject pronoun to a possessive pronoun. His watching TV for a long time. So remember that. If you need to change subject verb into noun phrase, find your noun and turn it into an adjective. One way to do that, change a pronoun into a possessive pronoun. Take a subject pronoun and change it to a possessive pronoun. Change he into his. And you can always change subject verb into a noun phrase. So remember that if you need to make a change, an edit. Okay, quickly, effect. Let's get to effect. Opposite of cause is effect. What happens after the cause? And the three words I want to teach you are therefore, as a result, and consequently. Oh, we got one more. I'm just going to put it above here for now. And I'm making sound effects as I'm doing this. Oh, I know why. I'm gonna put something else in the vocabulary box, and then I swear I will get to effect. One more thing for the vocabulary box. And you've probably heard this one too. This is very, 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 very common in English. Under the weather. I'm under the weather. I'm sick. Somebody got me sick today at work. Just means I'm sick, under the weather, I'm sick. Super common to say that instead of I'm sick, I feel bad. We say, I'm under the weather. Somebody at work today got me sick. There's sickness going around, which is good. We're in a health science class. It's a good idiom to have for if you're in health science. Okay, due to excessive speed, he collided with a tree. Excellent use of the comma. Excellent use of due to. And yes, I used the gerund before, and it worked in that case. The gerund worked in that case. You could just simply use the noun form. Speed is a noun. Due to excessive speed, he collided with a tree. Noun form speed, gerund form speeding, both work with speed, but not with rain. Do I know why? Right now, no. I will look up. I'll try to find some rule. Sometimes English is just weird. Maybe I'll say that That's a cheap answer, but sometimes English is just strange. Okay, therefore, as a result, consequently, these are different with effect. And one difference I think you notice right away is this thing here, the semicolon. The period at the top with the comma below it, the semicolon. Maybe one more for the vocabulary box. Semicolon. Oh, just one word. Just one word, semicolon. And that's this guy here, period on top, comma on the bottom, used to separate two independent clauses that are closely related. So a period is stronger than a semicolon. Semicolon, think of it as softer and also indicating there's a relationship between the two parts of the sentence. And we are talking about a cause and effect relationship. So we're going to use a semicolon. With these have a fancy name. They're called conjunctive adverbs. You do not need to know that word. We're just using linking devices. But these are conjunctive adverbs, and because of that, it needs a semicolon. Many patients complained, subject verb, semicolon, linking device. After the linking device, a comma. So punctuation on each side. Semicolon on one side, comma on the other. Subject verb, end of sentence. All three of these sentences have the same meaning. Selma, unfortunately, it's true. I'm sick. I just got sick today. Somebody at work got me sick. But right after class, I'm going to go home, drink plenty of fluids, and get a nap, get some rest. So I'll be okay. I'll be fine for tomorrow. Okay, let's take a look at this. Oh, there's only one construction. Subject, verb, semicolon. Remember that semicolon. Your linking device, comma, then another subject and verb. This will be your independent clause or main clause. So knowing that, tell me, why is this sentence incorrect? And a little too fast. Whoop. While you're thinking about that, I'll show it. I'll show it to you in a sec, I swear. Because I want to put something. Thank you, Selma. I will have a speedy recovery. I just put a link in the chat. This is a link to the exercise. Will you try to open that and see if it works for you? And I'm also wondering, two things I'm wondering. Does the link open for you? And why is this sentence incorrect? Thank you, Rosa. Why is this sentence incorrect? And does that link I just gave you open an exercise? That's what I'm wondering. I'm trying something new with these links. So I'll wait here. I'll wait here for your answers. And I will get soon. Trust me, it's not a very bad sickness. Obviously, I'm in here teaching. It's not a very bad sickness. Woohoo, it works. All right, open that link. Go ahead and try that exercise. Try that exercise. We are done with the lesson. You can now try the exercise. And then towards the end, I'll start giving you some answers, and you can check your answers against mine. Inversion. Yes, good, Rosa. Inversion. Actually, in grammar, inversion means something else. It's where you put a verb before a subject. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Rosa, by inversion. We change the cause and effect, which is okay for cause. You can change the two parts. For effect, it is not okay. With one of these effect linking devices, you cannot switch the two parts because you change meaning. And let me put that down. Why? The meaning has changed. Now this sentence makes sense. This sentence makes sense. Grammatically okay, and it does have a meaning, but actually it has a different meaning than these examples above. In these example sentences, the patient complaints, changed hospital policy. In this one, hospital policy created complaining. So if you switch those two parts, you're going to change your meaning. Do not switch the two parts. Please make sure these sentences, these affect sentences, have the meaning you want them to mean. No, it's not the commas I had. It's because we switched the two parts. We want the comma. We want semicolon on one side and comma on the other. Okay. If you would you please follow that link to the exercise? I'm also going to share with you, even before we're done, I'm going to share with you the class notes, so you can look at these class notes when you're done. I'm going to pop out for a second and let you work on that exercise, this one here, and I see some of you in there already. If you can't use it for whatever reason, go ahead and look at the first few examples we have here. I'll make it a little smaller so we can get more on the screen. A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, BRB. Be right back. Okay, some answers have come in already. We're getting close to the end of the lesson, which disappoints me greatly because I had a great time with you guys today. Again, really, you impressed me by how good you are at English, actually. Excellent answers. And I love that you have curiosity about English and that you have enough willingness to learn it on your own, in school, with lessons, to pursue it through any resource, including these YouTube videos. Now remember, a lot of them are closing beginning next week. I believe 2 will still be open. I believe Mark and Sean's will still be open, so please keep tuning into those. Ours, mine, Nicole's, Sagan's, and Josh's will be closed, and everybody will be back next week. Josh is in Mexico, Sagan's in Minnesota. Everybody will be back teaching their class next week. Okay, let's look at this one. Let's look at this answer. Because life expectancy, it's not an easy word to say, because life expectancy has increased significantly, comma, the age of retirement has been changed to 67. Excellent. Including the use of the comma. You know how much I love that. Okay, let's try B. Maybe I should make a copy of this. That way, I'm not putting all the answers in your document, the document I shared with you. So that way, if you want to practice again, you can. Okay, I'm going to take one. And Mohammed, you're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. Again, had a great time. I'm glad Sagen asked me to sub, even if I'm a little under the weather. The news media often focuses on crime and violence. Semicolon, awesome use of the semicolon. Consequently, comma. And semicolons are like a period. They're almost like a full stop, but they aren't. So anything after cannot be capitalized. So make everything still lowercase after the semicolon. Consequently, comma, people mistakenly believe the crime rate has gone up. Excellent answer. So how did you do? How are all of you doing so far? I'm just kind of grabbing the first answer I see to these. So check your own answers as we go along. Virtually everyone on university campuses has a smartphone. Semicolon, and remember, semicolons are not quite as strong as a period, so you don't capitalize. When you use a semicolon, actually it's still everything is still just one sentence. It's still counted as just one sentence. Virtually everyone on university campuses has a smartphone, semicolon. As a result, comma, good, both punctuations there. It has become increasingly difficult to prevent cheating. Boy, you're telling me it is. It's very hard to prevent cheating when people have cell phones, especially when you're in university and there's like 300 students in a class. The students in the back can just have their cell phones open and have all the answers there. It's very difficult to prevent cheating these days. Yes, Rosa, you can send me a friend request. If you notice in the chat, I shared my Facebook. I shared Zach's Facebook. You can send us friend requests, and we will accept it, of course. I'd be happy to be your friend. I'm just using it now to post when we have a video, but in the future, I will post some pictures, some of my adventures in Spokane. I go out a lot. I do a lot of things. I see a lot of concerts. I see a lot of shows. I try to do many things outside in Spokane, so I'll post some of those pictures, and you can see what life in Spokane is like. Mohammed, you're new. Welcome, Mohammed. This is the last of Sagan's open classes. How about one more time? I give you the Smrt Live link. If you are interested in these classes, follow that link I just put in there. Look at that, see if you are interested in any of these classes. Of course, Mark and Sean will continue their open classes. So please attend those when you can. These up here, these are the closed classes. They are paid classes. You do have to pay for them. And you have 4 days to make up your mind if you want to sign up for one of these classes. So please, please take a look at this website. It will give you all the information. I gave you the class notes. You got those. Oh, you don't have a smartphone. Selma, you cannot cheat in university if you don't have a smartphone. But that's okay. That's okay. How about another answer here to end out? I'll put answers to D and E, and then I have to go. Unfortunately, I have to go. We're getting close, and I think we are at the end of our hour. Again, fantastic to be with all of you today. I'm glad you tuned in. Because of the high demand for housing in Vancouver, real estate prices continue to climb. Excellent, excellent. The high demand for housing in Vancouver. A big, long, but just a noun phrase, no verb there, just a noun phrase. And you just need a comma afterwards. Okay, let's look at the due to sentence. And then unfortunately, I have to go. It was wonderful, wonderful today. Had a blast. I hope you learned something today. I hope you're more comfortable with these linking devices. Boy, you seem kind of good to begin with. If I can be honest with you, you seem very accomplished, very good at these. Due to hundreds of volunteers dedicating their free time to the event, the festival succeeded. And I know some of you type in a hurry, and that's where these caps come from. But in one sentence, if you don't have proper nouns, if you don't have names, you only need one cap. Selma, I don't like cheating either. I never cheated in school. I never cheated in school. That means sometimes I did bad, sometimes I got bad grades, but I never cheated. I don't believe in it either. Even when I play a video game, I don't like to cheat. I don't like to look online for hints or cheats. I don't like cheating. Some people are okay with it though, but it's not for everybody. Okay, on that note, I have to say goodbye. Look through the chats for all the links. Actually, I'm going to give you one more link one more time because these are the class notes and they contain a lot of the information, including Zach's email. So this last link I'm sharing with you is the class notes one more time. So if you didn't get them before, you can get them now. Have a great time. I'm gonna miss a lot of you. I might not see you. Hopefully, I will have more opportunities to be a substitute, and I will see you again in the future. You can look at my Facebook. I'll continue to post there stuff about the Smrt Live classes and then stuff about Spokane, maybe some more personal stuff. Okay. All right. Hey, good morning, Rosa. Oh my goodness. 1:03 a.m. It is actually 5:04 p.m. now in Spokane, Washington. I have to go. Work is done for me. I'm going to get some fluids. I'm going to get some rest so I'm no longer under the weather. You have been an excellent class today. Goodbye. Goodbye, my new friends. Goodbye, my old friends. Goodbye, students. I will see you hopefully sooner rather than later. Okay, have a great morning, afternoon, evening. Bye-bye.